I'm always right. I'm always right.
What is going on, Ben Nation? What an interesting weekend we had. We had an attack on cryptocurrency from the SEC, from Binance and Coinbase last week. We had a cloud of flames and fire and brimstone across the great country state of whatever you call it of Canada. It's the place where the dry ginger ale comes from. And then it caused the skies to turn orange and it looked like doom was upon us. And then Ben Armstrong got hacked. And that's when the real trouble began. I'm just kidding. It wasn't really trouble. It was annoying. It was certainly absolutely annoying. And we do have a statement on that that's coming up right now. But we are, Ben, one nation under Zod or something. I don't know exactly how we do that. I'm just, But let's talk price action. Let's talk what's going on. Let's get a quick update here and let's see what we see. First of all, price action 63.63. There's been, I thought right here, we had a nice little opportunity for a breakout on the wedge. I think you remember what I told you is the bad part about this wedge was that it was coming from the downside, which means that it was probably going to break down, and it did break down. So now we got to remove that. And hey, what is it that we see? We see that there's really kind of a continuation here of what's been happening over here, other than this little breakout right here and these little hourly breakouts right now. So what is it that we're seeing? And it really comes down to nothing's really changed. We just seem to be in more of a falling wedge pattern. Now, a falling wedge pattern does break out to the upside. It is possible that what we had right there was the start of a breakout, but we'll need a little bit more confirmation because the markets are going to be a little bit wonky because of the FOMC meeting this week, which will be taking place on Tuesday. We should see an announcement on Wednesday. And, that gives us kind of a better idea of the makeup of the market. But I think the market is more interested right now in the attacks on crypto. We will not have any kind of clarity until we start to see what sort of conversations are being had in Congress of the United States starting on the 14th, and that's going to be on Wednesday. So we'll have more for you as the days start to progress. But let's move on to the futures contract. And as you see in the futures contract, really, of course, just kind of stays in line, lockstep so far with the general market. So I think that when we start to see a spike over here, I'll be paying attention to the futures market. This is MEXC. And as soon as I see a real nice spike, then I think that'll be subject of a turnaround. Now, when can we expect that to happen? Well, jury's still out on that. And let me tell you a couple things here. Ben is back. This happened just a little while ago, and it says the hacker got into my Twitter account through a SIM card swap. It was an inside job at Verizon. This was confirmed at the Verizon store. We will be suing them. My phone number was not attached to my email account, which is the only reason none of my wallets were compromised. Now, that also happened to another person just recently. So certainly wish Ben Armstrong the best, and glad to see him back and leading on. And I think he's going to have a point to prove over the next couple of days. I think we should see something kind of magical start to happen. I think they really have a big week in store. And Cassie came out and had a nice little breakdown of it right now. It says, we've officially announced one advisor, which is Fity Eth. We're meeting with 2 other candidates over the next 2 weeks. Fity Eth, by the way, I don't know anything about him. I went to learn a little bit about him. And there's an apocalyptic NFT collection, which seemed kind of cool, but I don't know what it does or anything like that. He's been associated with he's in PSYOP, he's in Loyal, he's been just kind of hanging around on Twitter and stuff like that. So I like the guy. I don't have any reason to dislike him, so we'll see where it goes. Next, we just closed a partnership and waiting for them to finish testing, plus Ben to have access to his account to announce it. So there is a partnership that's getting ready to be announced. Could it be Stake? Could be. Don't know yet. Closing an additional partnership deal tomorrow in DC, which will then be announced shortly after, and then currently working on 2 exchanges. Because of what the SEC has done, exchanges are requiring more to get listed. I realize it might seem like things aren't happening very quickly, but realize this with Ben's platform, we're getting a ton of interest. A lot of people and projects are coming to us, but we have to make sure we do this the right way and mitigate any potential issues in the future. We're building something that's never been done before, and the foundation we're laying today must be strong enough and involve the right people to support us in the long run. So there you have it. That's your update for the day. Looks like there's plenty of positivity working on the Ben Nation universe. I want to say the Ben Coin Collective. I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with a consistent name. I guess we're gonna be Ben Nation. This will be the Ben Coin Collective, and we'll see where this goes. But I'm super excited. Really like to see 100% run up right now. Really like to see a 200% run up, and the reason for that is because one of the things that Ben mentioned the other day in one of his AMAs, and I guess it's going to have to be a 4x at this point. Never mind, because we did have a little bit of a dip. But what I'd like to see is, and I think it's just to reiterate what Ben said that he would like to see, is kind of hovering around the 100 million market cap, because at 25 million, it's going to be a long run to get up to 100 million. But from 100 million, it's not nearly as hard to just get on a nice little surge and pump up to 200 million, because it's greater exposure, more people involved. And so, we'll be watching for that right now. And hopefully we'll see a nice little reversal, nice little turnaround, a nice little run right back up to 100 million market cap. And if that happens, then pack your bags, guys, because it's only going to get better from there. It's not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, do your own research to decide whether or not this is the project for you. And we'll talk to you again very soon.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling. That bottleneck look like the Loch Ness. What are we doing? I'm about to fall out, boy, and the proof's in the pudding. So, can we forget about the things I said when I was strong? I ain't mean to call you that. I'm ice cold like the keg the bartender tap. On another level